Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allie and this is Crooked Nature. If you have a minute and you like what I'm doing, maybe you hit the like and subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and hopefully you are coming back to see me, or you're a new viewer and you think that this is awesome. Hopefully you like plants, and if you don't like plants, maybe I can convince you that plants are awesome. And if you are not a houseplant collector and you're just here to look at stuff, that's also awesome too. I hope you enjoy what you see here. I have some planty things set up over here and some planty things set up over here and some soap from a friend of mine who has a channel here on YouTube, and it is called Soapified. I have this guy today to talk to you about, and this is a Kangaroo Paw Fern, okay? It's also called a Kangaroo Fern. And it's commonly known, though, as the Microsorium Diversifolium. Okay, it is a type of wart fern that is native to Australia and parts of New Zealand. And this thing is really pretty. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep it alive, but I'm really gonna try. Ferns are notoriously difficult, but I'm hoping, since this is a solid-leafed fern, that I might have a little bit of good luck with it. It's not perfect, but it is really, really pretty. This guy has gorgeous, shiny green leaves, and they are really, really pretty. They've almost got like a speckling to them too, so like that's really cool. They grow in odd shapes, and they grow to around 6 and up to 12 inches long. Like that's more rare, but like it can happen. This one right here is like 8 or 9 inches long, actually, and that's the leaf portion, not counting the stem itself. These are phenomenal ferns, and they like warm places, and they need consistently moist but not wet soil to thrive, okay? And they're going to do the best if you can manage that. This fern is called a Kangaroo Paw Fern, or just the Kangaroo Fern, because its leaves become mature and the ends are going to resemble a kangaroo's paw, which is really cool. I do have a few on here. There's actually one right there. And the other reason why they're called a kangaroo fern is because of how long the leaves actually get, and the fact that the tips end up looking like the kangaroo paw. But because of how long they are, they look more like their feet, their back feet, their hind feet, which are incredibly long. Think about a rabbit, but huge, okay, guys? And it is pretty cool to think about that. These guys are only going to grow around 6 to 12 inches tall, but they can spread in an area up to around 4 feet wide in diameter if they have proper care and they reach maturity. So like that's really cool. That's a pretty big hunk of plant right there, even if it's not tall. It's most likely going to do best for you guys inside. That doesn't mean you can't try it outside, but most people find it dries out much too quickly, and the weather in a lot of places is just, it's so up and down with your temperature that it's difficult to keep them alive sometimes, and they dry out and they burn, okay? And it's okay. A lot of people who do that experiment are like, I want to try it, and then they bring it inside, and it's okay. Do it. Try weird things with your plants. Sometimes it's worth it, and they'll do better where you put them than where they were before. So this is a fern species, and so it does not produce flowers, okay? This guy creeps across the floor and sends out these little, they're almost fuzzy looking tendrils. It's really difficult to see down in there, huh? Let me see. Maybe I can find a better one that's actually coming out. Over here. Right here. Let's see here. Can I bring you and have you stay in focus? Focus. Oh, guys. Okay, well, it is a very fuzzy little stem right here. And it's not really a stem exactly. It's like an unfurling tiny foot. And it's so hard to explain that without finding one. Oh, there's one. Okay. So this one actually has a little curl on it. And see, this is its little stem right there. And it's going to unfurl that little foot, and it's going to keep creeping out. And it's really cool that it does that. So this plant has ferns have really unique growth patterns, you guys, and they don't reproduce the way that most everything else does. You can divide them, no issues, but to reproduce them, it's actually a spore that they produce. So it's a little bit more complicated than just waiting for seeds, because that's not going to happen, guys. They're not going to make you, they're not going to give you seeds, okay? You really, really want to keep these guys between 60 and 90 degrees, okay? 60 is like its absolute minimum. So it has a really small zone of natural, like areas where it can be. And I want to say it's between zones 9 and 11, but that might not be exactly correct. So don't quote me on that one. This plant does not need to be fertilized very much at all. In fact, you can get away with a half strength fertilizer every roughly 3 months and not at all in between there. And you still might burn your leaves. Okay, so they are very susceptible to leaf burn from fertilizers. So if you're gonna consistently and constantly fertilize this guy every time you water it, like a 1/10 of the strength. I'm not even joking. Like, add some droplets. That's it. Okay, to your water when you water it. And that's literally all you really need, okay? They are very, very sensitive plants, and you might really benefit from using a distilled water. I do have to say that that is gonna be something that will probably save you a lot of brown tips, and you're gonna like it a lot more because of that. And you don't want your brown tips on your ferns. That is something that everybody's like, oh no, and they'll throw it away, and then be, you know, no, don't throw things away, guys. Just because part of your plant isn't perfect doesn't mean you can't really improve it with just a little bit of care and maintenance. And sometimes some like careful pruning, just cutting off some bad bits so that new good bits can grow in and thrive. And that makes such a huge difference with your plants. All right, so this is new to me, by the way. This plant is new to me. I looked up all this information and I checked it out, and just tried to gather as much information about it as I could, and look at different kinds of different sources, which is the biggest part of what you got to do when you're looking at your plants. There is not a lot of direct information about this plant either, and there's a lot of reasons why. And then one of the main ones is because there's several different types of these. This is one type, and I saw at least 3 others. So we'll see if I can't find another kind of this that's slightly different colored. Sometimes they have slightly different coloration. Sometimes they actually have a slightly different frond formation, and they're still considered kangaroo ferns. So I think that's kind of cool, and I do like that. But as far as I can tell, this is the Kangaroo Paw Fern. Kangaroo Fern, and that's another reason why it's hard to find information about it, because it's recently been renamed the Kangaroo Paw Fern. It was always the Kangaroo Fern before, but that happens a lot with nurseries and different things, that things will be renamed, or they'll be like, oh, I think this is a smaller variety, I'm going to rename it, and it'll be something different, and we're going to sell tons of them. And that literally is what just happens, you know? So anyway, y'all have a great day. I hope you like your ferns and that you enjoyed some of this and that it was informational for you. Hopefully my lighting wasn't too bad. I'm inside underneath of grow lights right now, so it's not great light, but that's okay. I'm here and I'm doing it and I'm making it work. Throw me a comment if you have time. Y'all have a great day.